Gallup did a recent study indicating that the more educated Republicans are, the more likely they are to be skeptical of climate change. Now, the opposite effect is true of Democrats, and the results are actually pretty surprising, especially when you consider the fact that more education should lead to, I don't know, more logic, more rational thinking. Not the case with Republicans. Let me give you the details on the study. So the new Gallup poll released Thursday showed a whopping 74% of college-educated Republicans saying they believe global warming is generally exaggerated. However, only 15% of college-educated Democrats said the same. Wow. So for Republicans with a high school education or less, only 57% believe climate change is exaggerated, while only 27% of high school educated or less Democrats said the same.
So the Democratic side, if you're less educated, you don't know the facts about climate change, and you're more likely to believe that it's exaggerated, okay? There's logic in that. That makes sense. The more educated you are, the more you know that 97% of the world's scientists say that climate change exists, and they have the data, overwhelming data to prove it, and they have overwhelming data to prove that it is man-made. That's what 97% of the climate scientists believe in this planet, right? The Republicans, if they're less educated, they're like, I don't know, man, the storms look pretty bad and it keeps getting hotter every year. Like, but overall, still, no, we doubt it, Yeah. But more educated, they're like, no, I'm doubling down on my ignorance.
Right.
But when you think about it, it's amazing. Look at the propaganda that they did on an enormous section of the population. And it worked. It got them to believe things that logically you cannot believe.
Yeah.
I mean, think about what an insane conspiracy theory it is that 97% of the world's scientists got together and decided to make something up. Like that's a bigger conspiracy theory than 9/11 by a country mile. Like the idea that there was this global Bilderberg combination of Council of Zion collection of scientists. It involved 97% of the scientists on the planet.
Right.
And they all made up numbers. So they're not really telling us the truth about what the actual temperature is and why that temperature is getting higher and higher. You would have to be utterly insane to believe that.
I think some people believe the conspiracy theory, and I think that the large part or the large majority of people who don't believe climate change just don't want to change their personal behavior. Let's keep it real. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me, right? I mean, you have to change so many of your habits, including how much meat you eat, in order to save the environment. And so I don't think people are comfortable with that, and it's much easier to deny that it's happening than to accept it and do something about it. But the one thing that I will say is, look, just because these people have a college education doesn't mean that they're educated on science or educated on things like climate change. So I think what happens is they already have their preconceived notions, and the fact that they're educated makes them a little more smug about it. You know, like, I'm not an idiot, I'm not a dummy, I'm college educated, and this is what I know. But you're full of shit because you don't know anything.
Yeah, so look, you don't have to know the minutia of the science, right? So it's not like I read all those climate science reports and I can cite chapter and verse of all the different dozens or hundreds of those reports that are involved. But I have enough sense to know that 97% of the world's scientists didn't make it up. And and is there a tiny chance that they're all wrong? Yes, there is a tiny chance. But which side would you logically be more likely to be on? The tiny chance side or the 97% of scientists agree side, right? And the data is there. We can see it. The warmest years on the planet are right now, the last 10, 15 years. You'd have to be blind not to see it. So Republicans have decided, and this is just an amazing phenomenon. I mean, I think people will look back at this and study it for one of the most amazing things that has ever happened. You have to either purposely decide, I am going to be ignorant, and I'm going to do it on purpose. I'm not going to hear no evil, see no evil. And then there's the people who are logical, who are smart, right? And it's not to say all Republicans are dummies. No. There's smart people who work for ExxonMobil and who work for Koch Industries and who get paid by them, including the lobbyists and the politicians who say, yeah, of course, I see the numbers, I know. No, but I don't care. I would rather have the planet burn. I'd rather endanger the entire existence of humanity so that I can make an extra buck.
Yeah.
So I can win another election, so I can make more money. I'm going to be in good shape. My kids are likely to be in okay shape. I don't know about the grandkids, but anyway, the rest of you, good luck to you. me, I'm going to take the money, I'm going to run. So you're either purposely ignorant if you're a Republican, or you're one of the most selfish pricks that's ever existed. And if you think, oh, no, I know better than 97% of the world's scientists, really? You don't even believe that. You really think you know better than 97% of all the scientists in the world? On what basis do you believe that? No, you're entirely full of shit.